Oh, you just pressed play on This Week with Drunk Astrology. My name is Breitenstein. I'm your astrologer and the creator of Drunk Astrology. If you're looking for someone to make astrology make sense to you and for you, well, my friend, you have come to the right place. Here on this podcast, we discuss the weekly cosmic weather. And when we break it down, we break it down. I believe that astrology can be used as a tool to inform your daily decisions and enhance your day-to-day life. So if you're ready to have a hell of a lot of fun with astrology, make some strategic decisions, and to just keep it real, well, that journey starts right now. 'Cause the player's gonna play, and the hater's gonna hate, baby. I'm just gonna shake. I shake it off. A heartbreaker's gonna break, and the faker's gonna fake, baby. I'm just gonna shake. I shake it off. I shake it off. I shake it off. I shake it off. You got to. Happy week, Astro lovers. This is the podcast for the week of March 27th through April 2nd, 2023. And it's a week where we want to shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Because we have Uranus involved. And when Uranus is involved, we know that we can expect the unexpected. And we know that we might just have to shake some things off. And that's okay. Especially if you're somebody that you're not really one for change. Uranus comes and challenges all of those that are super fixed. Here's looking at you, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. No shade. You guys are just the fixed signs of the zodiac. And we know that fixed signs like to hold on for dear life. They don't necessarily embrace change like the mutable signs, looking at Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. Mutables can, go with the flow and roll with it. And hey, cheers to you if you're a fixed sign with mutable placements or a mutable sign with fixed placements. And if you're cardinal, you guys are just like, I just want to trailblaze. So I don't really care. I'm just going to break barriers, right? So cardinal signs, here's looking at you, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. Whatever all that noise is, whatever. I'm just going to live my life over here with no glass ceiling. Cool. So we have a very notable week this week in the fact that it is so different from the last several weeks we've had in the month of March. Every single week has just been eventful, has it not? We had the monumental cosmic event last week with Pluto moving into Aquarius and beginning a 3-month-long preview of a generational shift. As a reminder, Pluto hasn't changed signs since 2008 and hasn't been in Aquarius since 1798. So this is a really big moment in time where we're shifting the collective, and things are about to get even weirder. So, hey, let's just embrace it, shall we not? Now, Pluto is, I see some astrologers are there saying, Pluto destroys, and there is truth to that in the sense of transformation can't happen without some level of destruction, right? Without some level of bringing something back down to basics, to just almost like it's a rebirth energy. It's Genesis again, right? Genesis part 2, part 3, part 4. So we're really in this historical time, and as Pluto entered Aquarius, we see TikTok now. Aquarius rules technology and the future and how we connect, global travel, global communities. And with that, TikTok being a platform that many people, I think the number was like 150 million Americans alone, use this one app. And now we're on the brink of, or we're watching as decisions will be made at whether or not TikTok is banned. And worldwide, where we already see where some certain countries have already limited the type, if you have any involvement, you or a partner with military or government agencies, you're not allowed to have TikTok. And now we're seeing the CEO of TikTok come to just have to kind of like plead his case here in the States. So it's a very interesting time, and Pluto does dissolve in some way. And it's a slow burn. Right now, there's no way of getting around a Pluto transit. Pluto does what he does. And if you want to know where that's happening in your sign's chart, your sun, moon, and rising, I encourage you to go to last week's weekly horoscopes that I've started doing now. They're on drunkastro.com. But I post previews on Instagram, and then the bio link gets you right to your sun, moon, rising horoscopes. But if you want them in your inbox, just scroll up from the screen you're on right now and click the Cosmic News Train, and just put your email in, and you'll get those every single Sunday directly in your inbox. But I would encourage you to see where you can expect this kind of rebirth energy. And also, I really like Pluto for inner authority, because it's really interesting that last Thursday, the day that Pluto shifted into Aquarius, and that for me, as a Virgo and a Virgo rising, going into my 6th house, which is the Virgo-ruled house of, daily work and service, health and wellness. But on that day was involved in a conversation where I really had to hold my ground and really say, like, no, this is it. And as a Virgo, we're not known for, standing firm and being very being authoritative, right? I mean, it depends on the person, of course. I'll say for me, it's new territory to confidently push back, right? And to really own that space. And I was, astrologer me was on the inside laughing, because I was like, oh my God, really? This is how this is going to show up right here, right now. Like on the day. Okay, cool. So we begin this 3-month preview. And it's a preview this year because later on this year, Pluto will station retrograde back into Capricorn until 2024. Then we'll re-enter Aquarius, and we've got him there for 20 years. So here's that. This is why we astrologers are dubbing this a generational shift in consciousness and how we connect, the platforms we use, what's happening on the back end, right? Because that's the issue with TikTok. What's going on behind closed doors is the case, right? Are you sharing our information with enemies or with foreign countries, right? That don't need access to all of that, to that level of information. And that's Pluto right there. Pluto exposes. Pluto is like the wow, I really I love/hate that this is my reference. But I immediately saw Inspector Clouseau in my mind with Pink Panther. He's an investigator, and he sheds light on what's going on behind the scenes. He exposes. And that's what we're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing as Pluto flows through this new territory and the new zone in your chart. You're going to be getting some insight on what's happening behind the scenes. And you can't really, like, you don't have a choice, but so you might as well be excited about it, okay? The planets are going to do what the planets are going to do. So that's just what that is. But let's just talk about, before we get into the week. Now, I say that this week is different because there's not a lot of aspects, and that's great. We've had really big shifts the first 3 weeks of this month. So it's a nice reprieve that we actually have this month of just like, or this last week to kind of be like, okay. Now the moon does make some, some aspects. There's definitely some busy days this week, but as far as like potent energy, we just have a few aspects that are notable, and then we can move on. But before we do that, I just want to kind of walk you through. Saturn has entered Pisces, where he'll be for the next 2.5 years. So if you have Saturn in Aquarius, hello, hallelujah, your 2.5 years Saturn return has finished. You're on your way. You now technically have an idea of what your purpose is. Now your next 29 years, they're about living that purpose. And if you're a Saturn and Pisces person in your natal chart, well, then your Saturn return begins. But for the collective, this is I've dubbed this, I'm so ridiculous, but it is what it is. But I call it, this is the no toxic bitches era, right? Because Pisces can, Pisces energy on a bad day, especially when it's, somebody that's like really testing, it can be manipulative. It can be toxic. It could be, Pisces does rule the 12th house, which is the house of hidden enemies. And Saturn is the planet of boundaries. So that's that boundary. Like, no toxicity in my life. Bish, bye. So that's 2.5 years of learning that lesson from Saturn, right? So if you already know that you've got people in your field, whether they're work, whether they're personal, they're relational, family, whatever, that you got those you've got those types of people around you, then and your radar is already going up like, ooh, yeah, boy, I do have some toxic bitches in my life. Saturn is when you hear the word should in your mind, right? It's it can be a whisper, or it can be a friend, it can be a family member, someone telling you like, that you should block that person. That you should restrict that person's access to you. That you should tell them, no, that doesn't work for me. Or simply, you just need to say no, right? Learning how to say no. And one of my favorite quotes from my friend Tamina is, you can honor your no or suffer your yes. And that is a quote for Saturn in Pisces. We had that shift on March 7th. Now, last week, we had Aries season beginning, which is the astrological new year. So we're in this new year, new me vibe from a cosmic standpoint. So if January 1st sucked, if the lunar new year sucked, here's your opportunity. And at the very next day, we had the Aries new moon, which is the time to manifest new beginnings. What do you need for a new beginning? You need courage, you need bravery, and you need to be bold, and you need to be clear about the direction you're setting. You need to set your compass with this Aries new moon, because the wheel has restarted, okay? The zodiac wheel, that is. The sun has done its lap around all 12 signs. You've rested, you've contemplated, you've processed. Now, time to go. Then, a few days after that, we have Pluto enter Aquarius for this generational shift, where we're unveiling, right? We're kind of pulling back the layers on how we connect, how we travel, what platforms we use, technology. We're going to see a lot more of these types of headlines in the next coming months. So get ready. There's that preview. And then we finally saw Mars, the planet of action, motivation, and drive and energy, leave Gemini, where he's been since August of 2022, finally shift into Cancer and go, right? And now have wake up a new part of your chart, because he's been in one area of your chart for 7 friggin' months. And while retrograde, bringing stalls, bringing frustrations, bringing anger, bringing up a whole lot, riling up a whole lot in your chart. And now he's off into new territory. The only thing that we have to keep in mind with Mars and Cancer, although it's a cardinal sign and a very action-oriented sign driven by passion, so the question during this transit is, Are you moving with passion, or are you moving because of obligation? Are you moving out of fear? Are you moving out of doubt? Are you moving, it's asking you to, or I'm asking you while Mars is in Cancer to evaluate why you're doing what you're doing, because the doing is the Mars side of it. But Cancer is like getting to the root of the why. Okay? It brings a lot more activity around the home front. So if any of you are out there renovating your homes, or you've kind of been like staring at one section of your house, apartment, whatever, going like, oh, I just want like an accent wall, or just peel and stick wallpaper, or I just want to like change up the color in here. I want to kind of move the furniture around. This is a great patch of time to make changes around the home front. If you want to move, by all means, start the process, go research around, different neighborhoods or different cities, different states, whatever. Start the exploration while Mars is in Cancer, which is the sign of the home, family, and foundation. Also a great time to consider investments, savings accounts, making an expense report, an income report, just if you're still holding on for dear life and not doing your taxes. Be a great time to start getting all of that together. There's so many ways that you can use this energy productively, and I would encourage you to do that. So just take that in. All these shifts, and last week saw a sun changing signs, a new moon, Pluto changing signs for the first time in 15 plus years. Mars changing signs for the first time in 7 months. That's a lot compact. In this month alone, we've seen every single week have something. So that's what we're coming into this week with. So just like, give yourself a pat on the freaking back. I'm going to give myself a pat on the freaking back right now, both shoulders, because that's a lot of energy to wade through. And I'm sure in your life, just in the day-to-day, you have been frustrated, you have been upset, you have been thrown off, you've been just kind of like needing to breathe. And looking at this week, I see this being kind of the first time where, like, from a cosmic standpoint, where things kind of start coming together, and we begin moving in the shift, right? So it's not that the energy's shifting. Now we're beginning to kind of take our first steps, right? Where it's kind of like, okay, all right, okay, all right, I'm gonna slowly make my way forward, right? Like it's like the craziness for the time being, because keep in mind, eclipses are coming next month, but for the time being, we're getting to just kind of move with confidence and move with like, okay. All right. So news board items really, really quick. This is the last week for yearly readings. So you have until Friday the 31st. If that is something that is still on your mind, I encourage you to book that now. After Friday the 31st, I am removing the scheduler block to book readings. I'm removing that from the website, and that goes for readings across the board. Now, I'm not completely walking away from readings. They're going to be by request only. So I don't want to freak anybody out. I've had a few clients reach out like, wait a minute, like my follow-up is coming up in April. Like, what's going on? Those of you that I'm already working with and we've already got plans and follow-ups and all of that, that's still happening. And anybody that hasn't got a reading with me before and wants to, you can still reach out to me directly. There will be info on my website, drunkastro.com. So don't freak out. It's not like I'm not going to do them, but I'm just going to be offering them by request only. And we'll have to take it case by case, because there's a new format. And with that, like I mentioned earlier, there are weekly horoscopes and soon to be monthly horoscopes for all 12 signs on drunkastro.com. But if you want them directly in your inbox so they come straight to you, just go to the link for the Cosmic News Train in the show notes. Click that, put your email in, and every Sunday and before on or around the end/beginning of a new month, you'll also get monthlies. Okay, so for all 12 signs, sun, moon, and rising. So you're going to get a lot of info from me. Not a lot of info, but, links to your signs, horoscopes. And we're going to be looking at that from a oracle card perspective. This podcast will stay true to the astrology of the moment, and the Daily Dose of Stars will continue to be a combo of lunar cycles, basically astrology and oracle too, because I pull an oracle card every day on the Daily Dose of Stars. That's the subscription-based podcast. So if you're interested in that, there's also a link. Scroll up on the episode page that you're on right now. Scroll up there, and you'll see the link for a Daily Dose of Stars. And that's great. I'm getting a lot of great feedback from all the subscribers for the daily podcast. So that makes me happy as always. Okay, so that's it for the news board. Let's get into the moon phases this week. We go from Monday the 27th. The moon is in Gemini, so we're likely busy. It's a busy Monday, so make sure you get sleep on Sunday because Monday looks busy. And let's see. Yeah, the Gemini moon on Monday goes void at 6:39 with a square to Neptune. You could be running a little tired, a little foggy, trying to get your message across or try to communications from somebody. Some talking to people might be like a little like, what are you saying? Make it make sense. So you might have to kind of overcome with a square to Neptune, overcome like an energy of like, this doesn't make sense. And if it's just not happening, just walk away until later, where it can just you can get more info. Then on Tuesday the 28th, the moon enters Cancer at 3:22 a.m. The moon is in Cancer all day Tuesday with a second quarter moon at 7:32 p.m. Now, in your weekly horoscopes, I talk about this for all 12 signs. That quarter moon is that midway point between last week's Aries new moon and next week's Libra full moon, which, like I said, that Libra full moon will launch us into eclipse season. Okay, so you'll hear all about that quarter moon in your weekly horoscope for your sign. But that midpoint, it really is just kind of like, it's the call to direct your compass. Okay, so quarter moons can be stressful, but it's like, what direction? Like the Aries new moon said, yes, I'm clear. This is what I want. Cancer quarter moon comes and says, but is this it? Is this the direction or no? Are these the type of people or no? Understand? Then let's see, moon on Wednesday, moon's in Cancer all day. On Thursday the 30th, the Cancer moon goes void at 6:45 a.m. with a trine to Neptune and enters Leo at 3:31 p.m. So that is a long time. We have the moon void most of Thursday. Then enters Leo, where it's the rest of Thursday, all day Friday. Saturday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. The Leo moon goes void at 11:03 p.m. with a trine to Mercury. So great things said, shared, created under that Leo moon. The moon then enters Virgo on Sunday, which is Palm Sunday for those of you that are. It's also Autism Awareness Day. But the moon enters Virgo on Sunday, April 2nd. Virgo at 3:57 a.m. and goes void next week with an opposition to Neptune. So again, getting clear about the work we're doing, getting clear about what's important, we're getting clear about our priorities, we're getting clear. Like an opposition to Neptune is more so like, okay, I want to make sure that I'm doing the work in an efficient way. Yeah? Now, planetary-wise, on Monday, we've got Mercury coming into a conjunction with Jupiter at 11:50 p.m. So this is Monday night, Tuesday. And that's good news. That's optimism. That's a whoosh of good fortune. Hearing something that you want to hear. It's the kind of news like, yes, please give me some friggin' good news. A few weeks back, Venus had her, let's see if I can find it really quick. She had her conjunction to Jupiter. It was an interesting day for me. That was on March 1st. That was Wednesday. So you can kind of look around the 27th, 28th of February, March 1st, 2nd, 3rd, kind of just that whole week of February 27th through March 5th, and just kind of see how Venus meeting up with Jupiter was a blessing. Because now Mercury's coming, and now when Mercury meets up with Jupiter, there is some sort of, just kind of like positive, some kind of positive news coming in. You're hearing something that you should be happy to hear. Then we talked about Tuesday with the Cancer quarter moon. That's at 8 degrees and 9 minutes of Cancer, so you can find 8 degrees, 9 minutes in your chart. Just kind of look and see, especially in the cardinals. Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra, and then, water signs too. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Just kind of see if you have anything on or near 8 degrees, this quarter moon is talking about it. Then on Thursday, now this is where things get, this is where we shake it off, because we've got Mars in Cancer trining Saturn in Pisces. Now this is great. This is positive, flowy, conducive, working well. The energy and strategy is working in oh my gosh, Graham, use your freaking words. Your energy and strategy is working well with authority figures. There is synergy aligned with any kind of like authority figures and the actions that you want to take, what you want to do. And if this is a day where you need to pitch something to an authority figure about a direction, or like, this is what I propose we do, this is a great day for that. Just kind of aligning like your dreams with a plan, your dreams with a strategy. That this week is a great week for that, just with this aspect alone, right? I mean, it's already great that we have a Mercury-Jupiter conjunction. Again, that's Monday, Tuesday, great days to really kind of put yourself out there with kind of like, what do you want to do? What are you interested in? You got good luck on your side, and you're likely going to have conversations that support that. But also on Thursday, we have a Venus-Uranus conjunction. So now Venus is in Taurus, her lovely, lovely, lovely sign of rulership. She loves being in Taurus. She's enjoying good food. She's being cozy. She's being, just divinely adored, or at least that's what she's looking for, right? She's also looking to balance out that checkbook, balance out the incoming that's why I'm saying expense reports, income reports, another just reason why this is positive. But coming to Uranus, there's a shakeup there, and there's a shake it off. If you need to dust off old relationship patterns, or you kind of feel like you and your partner are just kind of like floating by, this is an invitation to shake it up. And to, just kind of like step a little bit on the wild side. Just kind of commit to doing something a little different. Try something off. If you're single and looking to mingle, then this is like date outside your type, or just entertain something or someone that you wouldn't necessarily have done in the past. Okay, like that's the type of energy. And if you're coupled up, yeah, shake it up. Try something. Go on a spontaneous date. Try a new restaurant. Come back and try edible underwear. I don't know. Get weird. Get friggin' weird. And honestly, that's it for this week. There's no planetary aspects. Let me just make sure. over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're quiet. I mean, yes, the moon has aspects. We'll talk more about those in a daily dose of stars to get you aligned on the daily front. But yeah, it's not a crazy week. I really do think that there is an opportunity to kind of settle into this new energy we're in. Okay, and we have that kind of energy only so long, because then next week's full moon launches us into eclipses. So don't forget, weekly and monthly horoscopes, you can get them directly in your inbox if you just scroll up and enter your email for the Cosmic News Train. I'll be sending weeklies out on Sunday, and then your monthlies, hopefully they'll come into your inbox sometime over next weekend. All right, so until then, have a wonderful week. I'll see you on the social medias and in your inbox. Peace. Bye. This is Graham Breitenstein, and you've been listening to This Week with Drunk Astrology. If you want to follow Drunk Astrology, head to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and hit that follow button. And if you want to learn how to put astrology in motion for you, head to drunkastro.com and get on the insider list. If you haven't already, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Google platforms. Tune in next week for yet another opportunity to work in sync with the stars. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.